This top 5 video was requested by OAW patron Khalil Young. Salute to you, sir. And if you have a request for a top 5 video you'd like to see done right here on OAW Entertainment, become a patron at patreon.com/OAW and select the top 5 tier. In addition to your request for the top 5 video of your choice, you also get access to all Patreon exclusive content. You get access to the OAW Vault, as well as the OAW Discord server, and you get an invite to join in on the live monthly Q&A held right here on the OAW YouTube channel, as well as the OAW Facebook page and Twitch channel. So once again, that is patreon.com/OAW and select that top 5 tier. And with that being said, this is my list of my top 5 favorite anime signature moves. Let's get into it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Greetings to everyone watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to the faithful and salute to the patrons. This is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, here to bring you all my list of my top 5 favorite anime signature moves. Now, this is a funny list just because this is one of those things that you don't really think about until someone asks you about it. You know, I never thought about, like, I mean, I got some of my favorites. I like this move here, I like this move there, but I never thought about putting together a list. You know what I'm saying? But my man Khalil hit me up and he was like, yo, Larry, man, because I think, and the funny thing about this too is I think this started, it was either because of a conversation that was going on during one of the monthly Q&As, or it was one of the conversations we had on Discord. But my man Khalil hit me up and he wanted to know my thoughts. He's like, hey, man, Larry, tell us who makes the list, right? What move is, like, of all the anime that I'm a fan of all the manga that I've read and whatnot, all the types of discussions we've had about who would beat who and whose move is better than which, what makes the list. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna break this thing down for you guys. And hey, how about this? Share some of your favorite anime signature moves in the comments below. So let's go ahead and let's get things started. So coming in at number 5 on my list of my top 5 favorite anime signature moves is none other than my man Yamcha's Wolf Fang Fist from the Dragon Ball series. A little something for the OG anime fans out there, for the OG Dragon Ball fans. Yeah, this has been one of my favorite moves from this series in general, especially once I got introduced to Dragon Ball and started to see Yamcha, do his thing. Essentially, it's just a barrage of, strikes that my man Yamcha does, but like the whole wolf fang motif, and there's the whole thing where the little image of the wolf shows up behind him and whatnot. I just always thought that was cool. And so, like, I mean, even years later, so many different techniques and whatnot we've seen presented in this series, especially once we get to DBZ. This is still one of the old faithfuls that I was like, yo, man, hands down, Wolf Fang Fist. I'm talking about even on Dragon Ball Xenoverse, when you get to create your own character, create your own moveset, Wolf Fang Fist was always in my arsenal somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just really cool to me. That's all. So that's why it makes it number 5 on this list. Coming in at number 4 on the list is none other than the Shining Finger, courtesy of my man Domon Kashu from G Gundam. Dude, okay, we're talking about one of the most memed, one of the most parodied. I mean, of course, it's all fun, and at times it is hilarious, just the absurdity of this technique. Just Domon, the way Domon gets down in the first place, with his, this hand of mine burns with an awesome power. It tells me to defeat you. Dude, like, G Gundam is, like, famous for the level of absurdity that it takes, the franchise, because Mobile Suit Fighter G Gundam was one of the first departures from the main line Gundam franchise and the main, like, storyline and whatnot. It is one of those, like, offshoots of the brand, right? And of course, it's pretty much what happens when you get the Olympics meets professional wrestling, but it's done with Gundams, and there's political implications, and it's on a global scale, right? Like, you put all those things together and you get Mobile Suit Fighter G Gundam. But man, the Shining Finger, dude, when Domon, when his fist lights up And dude, that Gundam just goes on town, blows his shit up and whatnot, dude. Like, how could you not, dig it, right? And yeah, of course, there, two different techniques: the burning finger, the shining finger, this, and third. Honestly, man, I just like seeing the shining Gundam do its thing. You know what I'm saying? And I like seeing Domon do his thing. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. If you have yet to check this series out, I highly recommend you do so. That's why this technique makes it number 4 on my list. So coming in at number 3 on my list is, you guys should have known that InuYasha technique was going to make it on here. But yeah, coming in at number 3 on my list is none other than the Backlash wave. Now, see, this one was kind of fun just because I was like, well, InuYasha is one of my favorite anime. And of course, that's another series that has a plethora of characters with all different types of techniques and maneuvers and whatnot. So then I had to kind of stop and think about it. I'm like, but wait a minute, what is my favorite one from the series? Because I had to consider, some of Koga's techniques, because that's my favorite InuYasha character. My boy Shishomaru got a couple of cool ones. Naraku got some cool ones. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm going to be real with you guys. This also has a lot to do with some of the other media in the InuYasha franchise, particularly the PlayStation 1 video game, the fighting game, InuYasha: A Feudal Fairy Tale. This is one of my favorite moves in that game. Granted, in the game, it's referred to as the Dragon Twister, but with the English dub, in the main series, it's referred to as the Backlash wave. And of course, this is the technique when InuYasha pretty much uses the demon energy that he encounters in battle, and he pretty much matches it with his own. And it's sort of like an Excalibur technique, if you will. If you guys think of, the legendary sword of King Arthur, Excalibur, right? Where it takes in whatever it encounters and that makes it stronger, right? So Backlash wave works the same way. It rebounds the demon energy that is sent towards it, and it results in an even stronger technique. Thus the term backlash, right? It bounces it right back at them and uses their own, it uses the enemy's own demon energy against them. So, but yeah, I always thought it was a gnarly move. I always thought it was pretty sick. And even at the time, the big Ryokotsu fight in the anime, when InuYasha finally learned how to do it, dude, that's still one of my favorite episodes, and I thought it was just awesome. So that's why it makes it number 3 on my list. So coming in at number 2 on the list is probably not a surprise to anyone. That is none other than the Rasengan from Naruto. Dude, okay, so the reason why I say it probably shouldn't come as a surprise, some of you guys who have seen some of my Naruto reviews in the past or seen me talk about, Naruto on camera before, you guys know my man Minato Namikaze Yondame, the 4th Hokage, my favorite character in the series. Naruto is at number 2, not right behind him. And then not right behind him is my man Jiraiya. All 3 of these shinobi patented their own versions of this technique. I freaking love the Rasengan when it was first introduced in the series. I thought it was some of the coolest shit, especially the way they described it and the way they explained the technique and the mechanics of how it's used. The notion of it is a literal manifestation of one's chakra, and how it is that you create the ball and the damage it's able to do and stuff like that. And of course, we know this was Minato's technique that later, I believe the chronology goes, Minato invented it, taught it to Jiraiya, who in turn taught it to Naruto, and then Naruto, made his own spin on it. Later ended up using the principles of the technique integrated with his wind style, and then that's how we got the wind shuriken and all that jazz. But yeah, I always thought the Rasengan was a awesome freaking technique. Get goosebumps every time I see it. Yeah. That's why it's number 2 on my list. Love the freaking Rasengan. And finally, that brings us to the number 1 favorite anime signature move, and that is none other than Senbonzakura Kigeyoshi, courtesy of my man Captain Byakuya Kuchiki on Bleach. Man, look, okay, so I bet y'all didn't expect to see a Bleach technique on this list. I have given my thoughts on that anime and manga before in the past in previous videos. I have my thoughts on the franchise. This is that and third. But one of the coolest things about that series were some of its best characters and some of the techniques that these characters had. Some of the signature moves with the Shikais and the Bonkais. And dude, but when it came to Bonkai, one of the coolest ones, hands down, was when Byakuya used his for the first time. Oh my God. Dude, even and actually, I'm talking about even when it was his Shikai before we saw the full Bankai. Dude, the first time Byakuya held up his Zanpakuto and he just said, scatter, and the blade disappeared, and you see all the rose, you see all the cherry blossom rose petals just flying all over the place, and then next thing you know, death by 1,000 cuts, and we like, what the hell is that? And then, of course, once he pulled out the Bankai, dog, oh my God. And that's the main reason why on the banner, I only have Senbonzakura, because I dig all of the different forms of this technique. But dude, Byakuya had one of the illest freaking movesets in the series. Go ahead, disagree with me if you want, fight me if you must. By all means, have a ball, have at it in the comments below. But dude, Senbonzakura. Oh man, dude, just G status. The move is G status. Point blank, period. There you go. G status approved, and that's why it is number one on my list. So one more time, just to recap for everyone, let's go ahead, recap our list. Coming in at number 5 is the Wolfang Fist, courtesy of my man Yamcha from Dragon Ball. Coming in at number 4 is the Shining Figure, courtesy of my man Domon Kashu from G Gundam. Coming in at number 3 is the Backlash Wave, courtesy of my man InuYasha from his own series, InuYasha. Coming in at number 2 is the Rasengan. My favorite one is my man Minatos from Naruto. And then last but certainly not least, coming in at number 1 is Senbonzakura. Kegeoshi, coming from my man Captain Byakuya Kuchiki from Bleach. And that completes my list of my top 5 favorite anime signature moves. I want to thank everyone for tuning in again. As always, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media, facebook.com/OAW Entertainment, twitter.com/OAWENTMT, twitch.tv/OAW_entertainment, right here on youtube.com/OAW Entertainment. And last but certainly not least, if you have yet to do so, become a patron at patreon.com/OAW. If you have a request for a top 5 video of your own you want to see me do, become a patron, select that top 5 tier. Once again, another huge shout out to my man Khalil Young for requesting this top 5, for being a longtime OAW faithful and patron. Salute to you, sir. And don't forget, guys, if you have yet to do so, drop your list. What are some of your favorite anime signature moves? Drop them in the list. I would like to know. I want to check them out. All right. And with that being said, this is your man, Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off, and until next time, peace.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?